What's good, boys? So in this video, I'll speak about alignment in ICC. I'm speaking about alignment in ICC because a lot of times when people hear about alignment in ICC, what they think is that if you see indication, correction, and price about to make a condition on the daily, then when you say alignment, that means you also want to see indication, correction and price about to make condition on the 4 hours, and probably, and then if you also go on the 15 minutes time frame, you also want to see price give you an indication, correction and continuation for on the 15 minutes before you get to the trade. And that's not true. That is why they miss out on the trade or jump into trades that they're not supposed to be in yet. So this is not true. Now, alignment in ICC, what does it mean? When they say alignment in ICC, it just means that if the daily is bullish, you want to see the 4 hour bullish, you want to see the 1 hour bullish, and you want to also see the 15 minutes time frame bullish. What do I mean by that? So let's say we go to the 1 day time frame, and on the 1 day time frame, what we see is we see that the 1 day is clearly bullish, right? Price is making higher highs and higher lows on the 1 day time frame. Now, if you go to the 4 hours, you also want to see the 4 hour bullish. It doesn't necessarily mean you want to see the 4 hour giving you an indication, correction, or continuation. It just means you want to see the 4 hour maintaining that higher highs and higher lows, which shows that trend is bullish, right? And for those that don't know, how do you know an uptrend? You know an uptrend when price is making higher highs and higher lows. So this when price is making a high, makes a higher low, makes a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This is what shows you that a trend is an uptrend, and vice versa. When price is making a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. This is telling you that price is in a downtrend. So when price is making high highs and higher lows, it shows you price is in an uptrend. And when price is making lower lows and lower, it shows you price in a downtrend. That is how it works. Now, back to explaining this. Now, let's say 4 hours. You want to see 4 hour. Now, when you go to the 1 hour, this is where people get confused a lot. They go to the 1 hour and they start looking for price to be giving them indication, correction, and continuation. Why that is true? That is true in the sense of that kind of gives you more like extra confirmation on that time frame for you to get into the trade. But I'm talking about how you can also get involved in the trade even if you don't see indication, correction, and continuation on the 1 hour. You just want to see that the switch from downtrend to uptrend is already active on the 1 hour. So let's say the 1 hour now, let's say as we've seen on the daily on this spread, it was bullish, and 4 hours it was bullish. Now on the 1 hour, you're looking to get into this trade, and then you come here and you see that price is kind of ranging. Now, when do you want to get involved in the trade? You don't necessarily need to see price make this indication, correction, and then you can now start buying. Why don't you necessarily need to see that? Because there's always a chance that price can break out and just keep going, right? There's always a chance that price can just break out and keep going, and you're gonna miss out on a good trade because you want to see that indication, correction, and then continuation. Rather, how you can get involved in this trade is that you can simply see that okay, the 1 hour is not that bullish as you want. All you want to see is a breakout above a level. Let's say you can see use the zone and say since the daily is bullish, the 4 hour is bullish, the 1 hour, if I get a breakout out of this zone, it means that the buyers have taken out all the sellers in this market, and now buyers are fully in control of the market. Will it give me an indication, correction, or continuation? I don't know, but I know that this is price giving me a new indication of where it wants to go, right? So I can get involved in this trade because I know I have a low when my stop loss can be based off on, and I can push price higher. So and if price goes higher and creates a high, then you expect what next? A higher low. So if you want to close at the high and wait for the higher low, fine. If you want to hold, fine. You have the option to do whatever you want to do. But alignment in ICC basically means, but it doesn't mean if you see indication correction or continuation on a daily, you want to see the same thing on the 4 hour and the 1 hour and 15 minutes time frame. No. It just means that if on the daily you see indication, correction, and continuation, so let's say if on the daily you see price give you an indication, give you a correction, and then about to make a continuation, all you are trying to see on the lower time frames like the 1 hour is see that price has switched from making lower lows and lower highs. Price has switched from making this to making this. That is all you are looking for. Yeah, some people will say, yeah, well, this is still indication, correction. Yeah, in the sense of this diagram, it is, but there are still to be some scenarios where price changes trend and then starts building from here all the way up. So you just want to get involved. This is where you want to get into the trade. At the break of this high, you want to get involved. At the break of this high, because that shows you that buyers have taken out all the sellers in this market and buyers are fully in control again. You can get involved in the trade to push with buys. So alignment in ICC is not on just when you see indication, correction, and continuation on all time frames. No, alignment is when the daily is bullish, the 4 hour is bullish, and other time frames that correlate with whatever you're doing is also bullish. They are all pointing to the same direction. And like I told you, bullish just means price is making higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows. That's it. I hope this video makes sense. Enjoy the rest.